Yo, Nakama, how's it going? It's your boy Cozy coming at you with a gameplay analysis video this time. And I gotta tell you, I actually enjoyed this matchup. Your boy is playing Green Mihawk today as we get ready for Shanks and OP17. And we're playing against my least favorite color to play against, which is yellow. So we're gonna take a look at the matchup, see how well we do against the color, and see how it goes. If you enjoy this type of content, let me know by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and ringing that notification bell, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace and love, y'all. And here we go, you guys. This is the matchup of the night that we had at our local tournament. It is Green Mihawk versus Yellow Luffy, 6 life versus 5 life. So we're going to start our game off with a Piranha Searcher, kind of digging through to see what we can find here. The big thing that we want to bring out is that 5-drop Smoker off of the search. That way we have a banish option. So that way they aren't utilizing those resources in life. Passing that turn on back with 2-Don going over to the Luffy. We have to figure out a way to get them down to 6 life without really having an issue. They don't really have a turn 1 play for us, so we're just going to pass it on back to us. We're going to rest 1 to play another Piranha Searcher. Again, we're looking for slash attribute characters or green events. And of course, we find that Law and Beppo right at the very tail end. So we are going to grab that Law and Beppo so that way we have a 10 turn play. We're going to swing 7 to our leader. And just identifying with the head judge, like, what are we playing here? It's just some card sleeves and stuff. So we are going to have him trigger off a body in life. I believe that was the Nico Robin blocker, which has the trigger of play this card. So now he has a small body on board. He's going to 4-Don and nothing to really do. So he's just going to swing a 9 at us. Easy take for us, boys. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now moving to our 5-Don turn, which means we get to do some cool stuff. So ideally here, what you would want to do is find the Piranha. You could play Smoker. You could even play something along those lines, like the 4-drop body, the 4-drop. I believe it's a Zoro card that we have, but we're going to go ahead and play the Smoker. Smoker effect to restand a Dawn. Leader effect to rest one of our little baby Piranhas to restand 3 more Dawn. So now we have an option to go 5k, 6k as an option. So we're going to start with a 5k to leader. And he's just going to go ahead and take that to burn himself down. We're going to swing another 5k to leader just so we can keep trying to tempt out some more cards here. That's the name of the game. We're trying to either put pressure on him by putting him down to no life, or we're going to try and burn some cards and some resources out of his hand. Ideally, what we want is for him to, go ahead and counter out with a 5-drop Nami. That is beautiful for us to see, because now he can't really play the 5-drop Nami. He still can, but it removes a lot of potential tempo that he has on 6. Something that would be really, really strong for him to play if he runs it is the Wiper, just that way he can clear the bodies. He's going to start with the Nico Robin swing to go ahead and remove a Piranha from our field. Debating on whether to swing the 5 with the Luffy leader. He may play some Dawn around. He may try to find another alternative solution. But right now, that Smoker is the biggest presence that he does have at the moment. So he's going to start with a 5k swing to the Piranha, it looks like, which would be kind of disastrous for us, but we're going to go ahead and let it go. He is going to drop the Zeus to take a life card and pop the Smoker. So clearing the board out, he's going to go ahead and drop a 4-drop Zoro to trash a card and heal a life. So the Zeus essentially became free, which is a free card draw for him. So he's going to pitch, I believe that looks like a Kumasi, and go right back up to 3 life. Pass the turn on back to us. We are on the 7. So we are going to rest 6 for Mihawk to play a 5-drop or less. We're going to go ahead and play that Piranha. We're going to hit the Robin and the Zoro with the big sad token. So now we do have another body presence. We're going to rest the Mihawk to restand 3 Dawn, using the Mihawk character effect to draw 1 and trash 1. We can go ahead and probably trash the Samurai event that we had just drawn from the Mihawk. Again, just some hand filter. We didn't have to give up any counter for it, so it was essentially a free play. We do have 7. Yep, we are going to swing 7. He is going to take and pass the turn on back to him with 2 Dawn active for potential counter events. Yep, we're going to go ahead and just notify that they are on the big sad tokens, thanks to the Piranha. If we come down to kind of a pressure situation here, we do want to make sure that we maintain our board presence, especially as we get into the later Dawn turns when they start playing things like Nico Robin to go ahead and trash a Zeus, which is very nice to see. And then he heals back up to 4 life. At least we are preventing the Zoro from swinging, so we can kind of try to lock it down going forward. But he's going to go ahead and swing into us. We're going to take that life to go down to 3. We are now losing in the life advantage side of it, but we do have a little bit stronger of a board presence, especially with 2 bigger bodies on board. 4, 5, 6 Dawn, it looks like, to go ahead and play another Mihawk and potentially an Odin or another Perona. So we are going to go ahead and play another Perona. We are going to target those 2 again just to prevent their swings. And then we are going to rest the Mihawk that cannot attack to restand 3 Dawn. Using the Mihawk effect to draw 1 and trash 1, we do grab an Odin off the draw. So we're going to go ahead and pitch an Odin that we already had in hand. So really shutting down their swings because they really only have the leader swing and now the Nico Robin. So we can put a little bit more pressure on them. We are going to start with a 7K swing with leader effect. Ideally, in a yellow matchup, you'd want to swing your characters first, just in case you hit a trigger that pops a character. We'll start with another 7-2 leader. He will go ahead and take, just filling up his hand, just that way he can try to survive the later ends of the game. Swinging with the Mihawk to draw 1, trash 1 again. Looks like we grabbed the Kikanojo 2K, so we can go ahead and pitch the other Odin, so that way we have more counter power in hand. He's going to take and go down to 1, so his leader effect now becomes active, which is huge for this Luffy, especially because now he can start filtering out some of those bricks or trying to find responses to the board that we've built, because now our board tempo is extremely high. So if we were to look at tempo right now, if you have not checked out the beginner's guide episode on it, highly recommend it. We have a ton of cards in hand. We have 4 big attackers on board compared to his decently large-sized hand, the 1 life, and realistically only 1 big attacker on board, which is that Nico Robin. Tempo-wise, we are vastly ahead right now, so he needs to try and deal with the board more so than the life that I have, because he's going to give me more cards and resources in life, and that's just something that he cannot really afford right now as he tries to push forward for a victory. Now, if he wants to try to go for the victory, he needs to try and get rid of either the Perona or the Mihawks, because the Mihawks is what's generating a ton of value for this board state right now, because every time that character Mihawk gets rested, we're drawing 1 and trashing 1 to filter out the hand for better counter or better opportunities on the swing, because he knows we have the Law and Beppo. Law and Beppo is coming down next turn. We are on 10 Dawn, and Law and Beppo is going to rest something and keep it down. So he's going to go ahead and play what looks like the Wiper and really just trying to find a way to get around what we can do. So he's going to flip that life up, which is a Kumasi. Him and I going back and forth. I believe it stays up, but it is a Jinbei 2K, it looks like. And so what we want to kind of experience and what we want to see here from the Wiper is there a way for him to start clearing the board down? Especially with Wiper putting minus 2K on everything. He needs to get rid of the Mihawks. The Mihawks are the biggest problem right now for this particular board state. And if you are playing against a green Mihawk, you do need to start removing some of those value engines, which we go ahead and let the first Mihawk go, because now we have Law and Beppo to really push forward. So Luffy's going to swing. He's going to draw 1, trash 1. We're just going to give up an Otama 2K. He is debating whether to swing the Zeus over, which, I mean, those were his only 2 big swings. He's going to go ahead and play a Borsalino to get rid of that Zoro that can't swing anyway, so he can heal. And then that will pass his turnover. And then goes ahead and rests that 5 for the Borsalino that he just didn't do on his turn, but that's totally okay, because now we can drop a Law Beppo on the blocker and just have a great time as a Mihawk player. Slam down that 10, Law and Beppo, targeting the Borsalino. Go ahead and rest him. The leader gets a plus 2K buff, so we are a 7K leader. We can rest pretty much anything. Probably the Law and Beppo would be what we want to rest. Yep. So we're just going to go ahead and rest the Law and Beppo because it can't swing anyway to restand 3 Dawn. Now we have a lot of pressure and they don't have a blocker to really eat it up with. And we're pretty strong as a 7K leader to really survive pretty much anything on the turn. So we can go ahead and swing with the Mihawk to draw one, trash one, picking up a Perona counter out of it. So we're just going to go ahead and ditch the Samurai, which was a brick in hand anyway, and then put that pressure on. So 6, he's going to counter out. We are going to swing again with the Perona, looking at a 7K swing. Does he give up more counter? He's going to give up a 0 cost event, so that way he can just continue burning down the hand. We're going to swing 7 with leader. He's going to block with the Nico Robin finally. We're going to swing another 7 with the other Perona. He's going to take, and then we will pass the turn back as a 7K leader. 1 Dawn active for a potential counter event. That is something to be mindful of as the yellow Luffy player, that we can probably counter out to maybe 11K if we play the Billion World Fold. We counter to 10 if it's DMG or the I Know You're Strong, so I'll go all out event. What can we do? He's going to drop the 5-drop Luffy. So we can't really block or use events without running the risk of buffing the Luffy up. So he's going to start with the Wiper just to put Arrested Dawn under it to swing. We'll go ahead and take that. That's not a big deal. But we have enough counter in hand, so if he does swing with the Luffy, we have the ability to counter, so that way he essentially makes that Luffy swing relatively useless if we go for a counter event in the next attack after that Luffy. But we do have 2 life, we have quite a few cards in hand, and we're a buffed up leader. So now he wants to go ahead and put 1 Dawn under the Robin. The Robin is going to swing. We will go ahead and counter out of that, just so that way the Luffy swing isn't as hurtful when he goes to swing at the board, because a lot of Mihawk's counter events only affect the leader. So if you are wanting to put pressure on your opponent, swing at the board, make sure they're using their counters, because the counter events are going to save their leader, and now you're burning additional resources from their hand. So big swing with the Luffy leader. What can he do here? Ideally, what you would want to see from your Mihawk is letting things go off the board. So now that is 1 less attacker that you have to worry about. Don't have any additional blockers at the moment, so you're kind of just hoping to try to win off of anything, trying to clear the board down enough so that way you can try to live. So we're just going to go ahead and counter out with the Luffy. Passes the turn on back to Mihawk. Do we have another Law Beppo just for the sake of playing the Law and Beppo? We're going to draw. We have the 9-drop Shanks, so we could pop the Luffy. We could pop the Robin, but either option just isn't fundamentally good. They don't have a blocker up, so now you kind of just want to map your turns out. You have 4 swings to try and bury through, get 2 of them to be successful. So that's kind of what we're doing here on the Mihawk side, is we're doing the math. We're going to go ahead and swing 9 with the Perona and see what we can get. We get 3 cards out of it. So 2K, 2K, 1K. They have 2 cards left in hand, so the max they could get to is a 9K. So ideally, you'd want to swing a 9, and then you just swing with the Law and Beppo. So you could go 9K here with the Mihawk leader. So he has to take. Nope, gives it up. He is now out of cards. We can go ahead and swing with the Law and Beppo, and that's how we do it. And so that is the round of Mihawk versus Luffy. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments down below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. It means a ton to me, and I hope I see you guys in the next one. Peace and love, Nakama.
Thanks for riding with the vibe. Cozy games every time. Pulling leaders, making plays on the line. Sailing through the grand line. Strategy refined.